Doesn't look like they're quite getting along just yet. Alright, we got a whole bunch of journal entries for that, so we'll talk to them first. No one to contact. Let's look how our war assets are doing. Looks like the only new one we have is Major Kirahi. Major Kirahi made his mark leading the Solarian Special Tasks Group that helped Commander Shepard stop CERN at Vermeer. Lauded by her superiors for his decisive leadership under fire, Kirahi was promoted and decorated with the prestigious Star of Surkesh. The Major continues to join missions with his men, believing that nothing substitutes for experience, and that the best tactical strategies are planned on the battlefield. And it's very nice of him to help us. And good that he survived Vermeer, because if you might remember, he can actually die there. How are our chances? Low but measurable. Well, we're improving. Again, it's mainly the multiplayer assets and the fact that my readiness is still quite high. That means that we have this very high rating already at this point in the game. We won't get the main Turian and Krogan assets until after we deal with this cure situation, assuming that we can get it done, of course. And assuming nobody else tries to stop us, besides Cerberus.
Commander.
You said one of your ships had gone missing?
Crashed, actually. I couldn't speak in front of the Krogan. Our ship went down on Tuchanka. Now they're pinned by an advanced guard of Reapers scouting the planet.
What are your men doing there?
I'm sorry. That's classified. But it's vital they be rescued. They must complete their original mission. It's a matter of galactic peace.
I'll do what I can.
I appreciate your help and understanding.
Your men that crashed on Tuchanka. How many are there?
A platoon.
You said their mission was a matter of galactic peace. Why?
I'm sorry, Commander. As I said, it's highly classified.
Look, if you want me to put my ass on the line, I need answers.
I can't tell you. Please understand. The commander is Lieutenant Tarquin Victus. He'll be your contact.
Victus?
My son. I needed someone I could trust completely.
This sounds interesting.
The Solarian Dalatras was worried about what the Krogan will do once they're cured. How do you feel?
It won't matter if we don't stop the Reapers, but I understand her doubts. The moon you found me on? That's where we made our last stand against the Krogan during the rebellions. They were that relentless.
How did it turn out?
The Krogan started using asteroids as weapons, directing them against our colonies. We had no choice. The Genophage was our last resort. So yes, Krogan intentions after this war will be a serious concern, but I'd rather have a grateful ally than a resentful enemy.
He's got a point there.
Reaching out to the Krogan for help must be difficult for you.
We can't allow the mistakes of our past to cloud the future. Your race and mine were once enemies. The first contact war, as you call it. I was there, dodging shells fired by your navy. But look at us now, standing in a ship of Turian human design, working together.
That's all.
Of course, Commander.
Well, let's hope that's a sign of things to come. And Rex has now joined us here.
Hell of a show down there on Surkesh. Just like the old days, Shepard. Right down to me pulling your ass out of the fire.
I was the one with bullets flying at me.
And I gave you the moral support to dodge them.
Uh-huh. You said one of your squads is missing?
They were scouting out the Rachni relay. We've heard rumors of trouble in the area.
Rachni?
Thought that might get your attention. I have a favor to ask. It's big.
Don't tell me they're back.
All I know for sure is our scouts went silent as soon as they arrived. I've got Aralac Company, my best unit, on standby. You give the word, and they'll meet you there.
I'll see what I can do.
Get on it, Shepard.
That sounds, potentially dangerous. Remember, we saved the Rachni Queen on, Novaria. Let's hope we won't get to regret that decision.
What will you do after the Genophage is cured?
Once we deal with the Reapers, most Krogan will want to settle a score with the Turians and Solarians. I won't let them. That isn't our path forward. This time will be different.
A lot of people will be relieved to hear that. No one wants to repeat history.
They know we'd probably win this time. But war has never brought us anything except misery. It's time to focus on rebuilding.
Well, I hope you can convince the rest of the Krogan of that.
What's the situation back on Tuchanka?
I'm still getting scattered reports of Reaper forces arriving. Something big is brewing. I won't let those things take Tuchanka. Not when we're about to cure the Genophage. My people have had enough bad luck in our time.
Back on Surkesh, it looked like the female Krogan could hold her own.
Our females don't lack for spirit. For males, a good show of force sorts things out. But females like to talk about it. Then think about it. Then talk about it some more.
Women have good ideas, Rex. You should listen.
Yeah, but they have so many of them. So sometimes I pretend to listen and... Well, let's just say Krogan females have tempers too.
It seems Krogan females are the brains behind the Krogan.
How could there be trouble with the Rachni? They were all but extinct. The last queen promised to disappear forever or be destroyed.
I know, I was there. I've got a bad feeling about this. It may not be Rachni, but maybe it is. Could be another invasion. If they're crawling out from under some rock, you know how bad it could get. We need to stop them.
That's just what we need. Well, we're fighting the Reapers for the Rachni to invade as well.
That's it for now, Rex. Let's get back to work.
Anytime. And Shepard, I like what you've done with the Normandy. Got tired of always hanging around the cargo bay before. I still don't have a window like Liara does, but maybe that's because I don't kiss as well.
No comment.
Yeah. I miss this place. Wish I could knock some heads around with you, but duty calls. If the Solarian says my DNA's important, who am I to argue?
Yeah, I missed you too, Rex. It's a shame he's not a squad mate. But at least we have him back on the Normandy for a little while. It's actually a damn shame this game does not have any Krogan squad mates. Maybe they'll rectify that in a DLC, but... I'm not holding my breath. Okay, so we got a bunch of new stuff on... in the journal. Priority Tuchanka is our next main mission. Eve is indeed the key to curing the Genophage, but creating a cure will take time. Continue to assist Turian and Krogan allies in the fight against the Reapers while the cure is synthesized. We also got Tuchanka, Turian platoon. Primarch Victus reports that a Turian ship on a secret mission crashed on Tuchanka. Land on Tuchanka to rescue the platoon. So, in case it isn't obvious by now, we're heading back to Tuchanka, the Krogan homeworld, which we've seen before in Mass Effect 2, of course. But we'll get to see more of it this time, which is nice. Attican traversed the Rachni. A Krogan scouting team has gone missing while investigating rumors of activity at the Rachni relay. Investigate the missing team and find out what happened. That should also be quite interesting.
You think Solarians would have a base on their homeworld secured better?
Nah, they were solid. Cerberus has Reaper tech. Compared to those upgrades, the Solarians might as well have been throwing rocks.
I guess so.
Commander, we've got new reports of Cerberus activity on Tuchanka. I've marked it on the galaxy map.
And it sounds like we have even more stuff to do on Tuchanka.
Commander, nice to see you again.
How are you settling in, Trainer?
I actually feel somewhat useful. It's been challenging to integrate data feeds for the War Summit.
How are the systems holding?
Well, I'm glad we performed stress tests.
Specialist Trainer has been extremely helpful. The accuracy of our war room data is a direct result of her work.
Thank you, Edie. I'm still getting used to all of this. In the lab, we'd hoard everything, piles of tech everywhere. Out here, it's like living out of a shoebox.
Life on an active ship always feels crowded at first. You'll get used to it.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. I've got no problems getting cozy. This is wonderful. Back in the lab, we had to hoard because we had no budget. Now, Edie, Ariake Tech uses a proprietary smart processing algorithm that could clean up our long-range data. Can we license it?
We can. Analyzing and applying the upgrade now. The algorithm should reduce long-range strategic combat data analysis time by 3%.
Impressive.
If it means getting the equipment I need, I can quite happily live out of a shoebox.
Meanwhile, I'm salvaging crap to try and buy weapons.
Commander, I've set up a secure communications with the Turian and Solarian governments and added their combat data to our boards. Hopefully it'll give us some idea of what's going on. Commander?
We also got some new messages. Info for you. Hi, Shepard. It's been a while. I'm glad to hear you made it off Earth and that Liara's with you. Getting off her old ship was the best thing we could have done. Can't tell you how sick I was of that cabin, and of tripping over that drone. I don't even know how it kept finding me in a ship that big, even after I turned off its tracking. I dug up some interesting information for you. Talk with Glyph to sort out the data. I hope it helps, Shepard. It's getting rough out there. Theron. Okay, so Theron, Liara's old friend from Lair of the Shadow Broker, found some stuff for us, and we need to see Glyph about that. Holding the line. No surprise who wrote that message. Major Kirahi. Commander, it was a pleasure seeing you again on Surkesh, even if the circumstances were less than ideal. It seems fate has decided our meetings coincide with galactic threats. So be it. To that end, I wanted to reiterate that STG will be there to help when the need arises, regardless of the political climate. You were there for us in our hour of need. We look forward to returning the favor. Best of luck, Major Kirahi, 3rd Infiltration Regiment, Special Tasks Group. That's awfully nice of him. ANN Alert. New article on indoctrination. From Alliance News Network Information Partners. Thessia. Asari scientist Rana Phenoptis has died in custody, allegedly committing suicide after she was arrested for the murder of multiple Asari military officials. Prior to her death, investigators said Phenoptis spoke of voices in her head, which they believed to be indicative of her indoctrination. The voices foretold the ascension of the Asari, and told Phenoptis that anyone fighting the Reapers needed to die. Phenoptis worked on a top-secret project for former Spectre Saren Arteria several years ago, where she likely became indoctrinated. She received a pardon from the Asari government in exchange for providing research assistance on Reaper technology. Phenoptis was believed responsible for planting a makeshift explosive device that detonated at a research center, killing 5 visiting Asari military officials along with 4 civilians. The attack seriously wounded a dozen more and caused significant damage to the facility. Investigators say that they are not seeking any more suspects in the case. Okay. And we let Phenoptis go when we met her on Vermeer all those years ago. Turns out that was one Paragon decision that was not the right one to make. Well, Zaid did say that decision was gonna bite us in the ass one day. And it did. Spectre status confirmed from Ashley Williams. Commander, Udina made an offer and I accept it. I'm a Spectre. I can't believe it. With everything falling apart, does this even mean anything? All the authority, resources, freedom, the whole scary package, but I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Come by the hospital if you get a chance. They're still keeping me here, but I'm planning on sneaking out soon. Ashley. Well, I'm glad she's getting better, and a Spectre. Interesting. Oh, resources? We never got any resources. We always had to buy our own stuff. I'm sure Joker will have a comment or two about meeting our old friends, Rex and Mordin.
The Krogan and the Turians really should get behind the Alliance. They've got so much in common, like shooting things and not wanting to die, and now that's about it.
I guess so.
So, bringing the Krogan to a war summit went well? You want me to invite the Batarians too, or the Vorcha?
If they could help.
Building alliances is the only way we stand a chance against the Reapers.
Yeah, but the Krogan? I'd feel better if we had a tighter plan, like time travel or teaching the Reapers to love. Still, good to have Mordin back. The bad guys shouldn't get the monopoly on mad scientists.
True that.
Commander?
It is good you came by. I have questions about the Genophage.
You and everyone else.
What do you need, Edie?
A Krogan female of breeding age can produce clutches of up to 1,000 fertilized eggs over the course of a year. There are over 1 billion females on Tuchanka. If even 1% become fully fertile, they can birth 10 billion infants.
On Earth, bugs have a lot of young too. Most of them die.
The attrition rate would naturally be high, but the state has an interest in keeping the children alive for warfare purposes.
Any other cheerful thoughts?
Logistics. Even were they to side with us, transporting the Krogan to the battlefields of Palaven could prove difficult. They have been demilitarized. That is, they have no warships.
What do you suggest?
They will need Turian or civilian starships to carry them to battle. With your permission, I will make the necessary calls to have these ships in place for when you deliver the Krogan.
Do it. Anything else?
Food. They will be unable to eat anything on Palaven. They must bring their own or rely on the nutrients in their humps.
This keeps getting better and better.
The Krogan will also require sedatives, since Krogan fight with others of their kind in enclosed spaces such as starships.
Make it happen. Are there any last things you're worried about?
Nothing that demands your attention, Shepard.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're on top of things.
Mordin sent me a nicely crafted message. It seems he recalls our conversations about the Solarian equivalent of transhumans.
If I could, I'd stop you right...
Transhumans have some of their brain's abilities, such as memory, supplemented or entirely replaced by cybernetics. Legal definitions vary from planet to planet. The Solarians embrace the concept. Humans have diverse and contentious opinions.
Do my implants make me a transhuman?
That would be telling.
What?
I'm sorry. That was a joke. You are fully human. Cerberus extensively reconstructed you, but your brain functions are organic.
Don't ever do that again.
Hello, Shepard.
Okay, that's good, I guess. Maybe. I'm not really sure how to feel about that. And being transhuman might be kinda cool. Let's talk to some other people. And I think there's a couple people who are out of their usual location. See, Engineer Adams and Dr. Chakwas are in the crew quarters. And of course Mordin and the female Krogan are in the medical bay.
I can't imagine anything so traumatic. You sure you're okay, Karen?
I wouldn't wish a collector abduction on my worst enemy. But it's behind me now. I'm fine. But it makes me think of Earth and all the other Reaper-occupied worlds. What are the Reapers doing to the people who live on all those worlds? As we sit here, enjoying our coffee. How many souls are in agony this very moment? Millions? Billions? Oh, Greg. I lied. I'm not fine.
Hold it together, Chakwas.
Hello, Commander.
Everything okay in the medbay?
Yes, Mordin would just like some space to work with Eve.
He kicked you out?
Oh no, I just felt I was getting in his way. I'll return when I'm needed. Commander.
Let's check in on Mordin and Eve.
Aware Krogan females find scars attractive. Garrus loyal, reasonably intelligent, bit aggressive, almost like Krogan.
For the third time, Doctor, I'm not interested.
Ah, Shepard. We were just...
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Rex. You can relax.
Can't be too careful, or put any faith in Solarian doctors.
This one is different.
Is he? What's that?
Simple blood test.
What kind?
Kind that ends the genophage. Shepard, please. Distraction's counterproductive, also affecting comfort of patient.
He was your inside source, Rex. You can trust him.
Solarians have minds like a maze. You never know when they're leading you into a trap.
Trap? Eve's release my doing. Would never have known about her if not for me.
That was then. But she's out now. And if she gets hurt, I'll feel it.
Understand. But my patient, my responsibility. Her welfare a priority. Will not allow her to be compromised by anyone.
You got a quad, Doctor. Keep her safe. Our females have endured enough.
Don't forget, still need your tissue sample.
I'll be back.
Common phobia. Fear of needles.
Or Solarian doctors.
Now have work to do. Prefer females of the species. Maybe with an inhibitor. No. Entire catalyzing process would fail. Severe neurological damage. Never mind.
What are you talking about?
Method to extract functional cure without killing you. Many variables. Your immune system compromised. Considering options.
And you have to do it out loud?
Yes. Auditory learner. Need to hear self-think. Simulate conversation to promote new ideas. Maximize productivity.
But you're talking about me dying.
Oh, apologies. Medical details causing emotional distress. I hadn't considered effect on patient.
No, it just means I can't sleep.
Doing my best to keep you alive. Will avoid sensitive subjects.
Okay. Looks like an interesting team up. Let's talk to Eve, the Krogan female. That should be interesting. Provide some new perspective on their society, perhaps.
Thank you for saving my life, Commander. I didn't think the Krogan had any allies left in the galaxy.
We owe a lot to you, even if most people have forgotten that.
They can be forgiven. Our actions have hardly inspired friendship.
Part of being friends is knowing each other's name. I feel bad that I don't know yours.
I surrendered it the day I became a shaman of the female clan. I belong to my sisters now. But perhaps one day, when this is over, you can know it.
How did you get involved in Malin's experiments?
The other females and I volunteered. We heard Malin was trying to cure the genophage for Clan Weirlock.
Aren't they a rival clan?
Rivalries are the invention of the males. Under their rule, Tuchanka has laid in ruins for over 1,000 years. It's time females took back our place in society and resurrected our future. Malin was our best hope.
Would you go to Malin again?
Absolutely. It only takes one candle to light a fire, and then the darkness is no more.
I'm sorry none of the other females survived.
I know. The youngest one, Kern, was the last to go. But she knew she would enter the void free of this curse, and then smile when she looked down upon the children of Tuchanka. Her spirit will be the midwife to my firstborn.
I found Malin's lab. It looked like a dungeon. His experiments were brutal.
We learned that too late. He meant well, but his methods grew more barbaric as he went. We finally escaped into the rubble. Eventually, a Solarian team found us. They saved our lives. We were so sick.
I didn't realize the Krogan had female shamans.
Wisdom comes from pain, and the genophage has made us very wise. Rather than surrender to despair, a few of us chose to preserve the ancient ways. We safeguard our culture, our knowledge, our secrets. So when our children live again, the Krogan will flourish.
How were you initiated?
You're locked in a cave for 7 days with just enough food to last. On the 8th, you'll starve.
What does that prove?
Your resolve. Every acolyte is given a chance. You either claw your way out through the rock with your bare hands, or you die.
How did you make it out alive?
I started digging the wrong way. I was in complete darkness. Nothing other than my own heartbeat to sustain me.
What happened?
I found this. A simple crystal, but it became my chisel. Take it as a reminder, Commander. In the darkest hour, there is always a way out.
That's a brutal initiation.
But an illuminating one. You learn to appreciate the light by living in the dark.
I'm glad I'm not a Krogan.
What do you think of Rex?
When he's not trying to sire half of Tuchanka, he's the best thing that's happened to the Krogan. But I won't tell him that. His head's big enough already. Literally.
He's turned into a strong leader.
I know in his heart Rex wants what's best for us. Though not all the other clans see it that way.
Why would the other clans give Rex trouble? You'd think they'd want a better future.
It's not in the nature of our males to cooperate. They've evolved to be selfish. Their only concern is survival. Rex is different. He's a mutant. And that you can tell him.
Do you think Rex will want revenge for the Genophage?
Some clans will expect it, but I hope Rex resists. He understands the cycle of violence must end if Krogan are ever to have a voice in galactic politics. Still, he's just one Krogan. If enough clans demand it, he may not be able to stop them.
But it sounds like if the females gain a bigger voice, we have a better chance for peace.
If you don't mind me asking, what's it been like living with the Genophage?
I knew sisters who couldn't bear the shame of being infertile. They would wander off into the wastelands, hoping a thresher maw would kill them and end their torment.
Did the thought ever cross your mind?
Yes. After my first stillborn.
What kept you from ending your own life?
When my child didn't draw breath, that's when my life truly began. The Genophage forces us to live on hope alone. There is nothing else. There is no reason to exist other than the hope that the next day will bring change. And if it doesn't, there is always the next.
How do you think things will change after the Genophage is cured?
Our species will find its balance again. Females will help shape the future, like in the ancient days, before we were just pawns of power-hungry males.
Most seem hell-bent on shooting anything that looks at them wrong.
What else is there for them to do? Because of the Genophage, they become wandering killers, seeking targets to justify their existence. Excuses to earn them honor.
How has Mordin been treating you?
Better than Krogan males do. He's not like a typical Solarian.
No. Organ redundancy results in new period before metaphase. Can't alter that. Damage to telomeres, premature aging.
He does that.
But I sense pain in him too. He told me about his work on the Genophage. I should consider him an enemy. Yet I think seeing my sisters and I changed something in him.
Sorry, Borgia, offspring have an allergy to dairy and...
Well, it wasn't his ear.
Right.
Thanks for talking to me.
It's my pleasure, Commander. I've only met a few humans in my time. I'm glad for the opportunity.
Well, this has certainly been illuminating. Let's talk to Mordin.
Shepard, blood work complete. Indicates significant stress on Eve's system. Malin's data thorough. Fortunately detailed as well. Have used notes to improve her condition.
Well, that's good.
Have you determined why she's immune?
Genophage targeted hormone production during pregnancy. Modification project used same modality. Her immunity totally different. Targeted glands now obsolete, like human appendix. Other glands mutated to produce proper hormones, enable viable birth. Also explains her weakness. Gland substitution imperfect. Health trouble.
You think you can make this work for all Krogan?
Yes. We'll use Eve's tissue to produce mutagen, alter gland function across entire species. Must improve mutagen as well, tune hormone production. Long-term illness for all Krogan otherwise.
Yeah, that wouldn't really help them, I think.
So, we did the right thing by saving the data?
Indeed. Would be much harder to treat Eve without it. Maybe impossible.
And all those experiments we saw back on Tuchanka?
Monstrous, repulsive, but now with purpose. Victims didn't die for nothing.
So the end justifies the means?
Not my means.
But you're using the data, encouraging more experiments like Malin's.
Encouragement irrelevant. Will always be scientists willing to perform unethical tests. Can't change that. But can help Eve. Can cure Genophage. Won't ignore data vital to her survival because of unethical origins.
Any word on Malin himself?
No. Ordered teams to search for him when trying to help Eve. Nothing so far. Large galaxy. Lots of places to hide. Could already be dead for all we know. Would kill him now if possible. Unless he could help.
How is she doing?
No fever currently. Heart rate elevated. Likely stress. Eating appropriately. Could use another blanket. Something soft. Prefer to let her recover fully before synthesizing cure. My medical recommendation.
My people don't have time for that.
Her opinion, somewhat different.
That tends to happen.
You care about her?
My patient. My responsibility. Found her at STG base. 3 doctors injured trying to restrain her. Undid arm restraints. Didn't resist when she grabbed me. Promised to help her. She said, please.
You've always defended your Genophage work. What changed your mind?
Never change mind. Genophage proper decision at time. New circumstances necessitate course correction.
Those circumstances being?
Reaper invasion. Turians doomed without Krogan support. Krogan need unified threat. Outlet for aggression. Cooperative symbiosis.
Nothing else? No personal stake here?
Getting old, Shepard. Not many years left. But still best candidate for project. Few Solarian scientists interested in Genophage. None with my expertise. Had to be me.
Someone else might have gotten it wrong?
Possibly. Stakes too high for inexperience. But not about them. My work. My job to put it right. To prove I can.
You do care, don't you?
Nice talking with you, Mordin.
Thank you, Shepard. Glad to be back.
You planning to stick around when this is over?
Until Reaper's dealt with, at least. Then, not sure. Have made impact on Galaxy. Genophage modification, Genophage cure, work against collectors, decisions, mistakes. Might go somewhere sunny, sit on beach, look at ocean, collect seashells.
You'd go crazy inside an hour.
Might run tests on the seashells.
That does nothing to disprove the crazy theory. Nice to have Mordin back on board as well, even though, again, he's not a squad mate. Let's check with Liara.
So, Liara, still relying on the Protheans for all the answers?
It will work, Rex. We just need to finish building the Crucible. Although I'd be interested to learn how you found out about it.
Wasn't that hard. Lucky you keep its location more secret than the fact it exists.
And I'm sure you'll do a good job of both, being so famous for your discretion.
My lips are sealed.
Sure.
Perhaps we can talk later.
Okay. Whatever. Theron said he found something. Nothing, apparently. Not sure what that was about then. We got an email from Professor Takisha to Dr. O'Doul. I was calling every supply depot stationed around the Crucible to find enough pure platinum for the Crucible's primary trigger inlay. We barely had enough left to coat a coffee maker. An hour later, a ship pulled up with 16 tons of platinum, courtesy of the Shadow Broker. Then it flew away to scavenge more materials for the project. The ship's captain emailed me later saying the broker would stay in touch with our needs. That's great, but I'm checking my computer for bugs. Sounds like Liara is on top of things. Call between Kasumi Goto and Professor S. Olausen. Kasumi, hi Professor. You know that one-of-a-kind point-to-point comm server you were talking about the other day? Do you have any information on its whereabouts? I've got something better. Check your front door. But this server's locked in the Cerberus facility. Not anymore. This will be invaluable for the Crucible. Thank you, Miss Goto. You're the brilliant astrophysicist, Professor. I'm just a tech expert doing some odd jobs. By the way, you would not believe how many credit Cerberus leaves just lying around in the open. I would. I found quite a lot of them over the years.
Perhaps we can talk later.
That seems to be it. I kind of thought you'd got something after that message from Pharaoh.
At your service.
But apparently not.
Shepard, they say female Krogan have a thing for guys with scars.
So I've heard.
I've got a few, myself. Here's hoping nobody's planning an arranged marriage to cement this deal. Though I have to say, I admire Eve. The things she must have endured living with the Genophage. And now, to top it all off, she's her people's last hope. Imagine the pressure. Takes real courage to face that. I hope we can measure up. I guess we're at war with Cerberus now, huh?
Yeah, as if being at war with the Reapers wasn't enough.
I've never actually seen a female Krogan. Seems like they're the real brains on Tuchanka. Good to see Mordin still alive and kicking, and still finding new ways to cause trouble. Not right now.
Yeah, I know. Calibrations. Anything going on in engineering? Javik, perhaps?
You're saying they survived into this cycle?
Yes. We called them Collectors. They fought for the Reapers. For a long time, no one knew they were Prothean.
And when did you realize?
Shepard had no choice but to kill the ones he encountered. They were all indoctrinated, and had been for a long time. I'm sorry.
I am grateful. It was an act of mercy.
Yes. I suppose it was.
Discussing the Collectors, it seems.
Did I mention Salarians used to lick their eyes? How far they have come. The Mordin Salarian asked if he could dissect me. I approved, but only if he could defeat me in combat first. His reply was problematic. Then he left. I do not understand that one.
No, I wouldn't expect you and Mordin to be on the same wavelength.
This Cerberus. I do not understand why your own kind would oppose you. They will bleed the same as everyone if the Reapers are not stopped.
Just seems they have different ideas about how to stop them. That is the source of our problems.
The Rex Krogan offered me a job. He said whenever I tired of the easy life of luxury on the Normandy, he would give me something real to shoot at.
And? What did you reply?
Yes.
We can't find out. He did not reply yes. Because that was a question, not an answer to our question.
So, Gabby, have you seen Edie's new body?
Oh, I knew this was coming.
I just mean, it's an amazing work of engineering. Elastic titanium silicon polymers, ultra-light harmonic phased power cells.
Mm-hmm.
And if she ever accidentally walks into a wall, there's just so much padding.
Ugh, I knew it.
Wish I were a wall.
You pretty much are, Kenneth.
Ken is still as charming as ever.
Sometimes keeping the grid balanced is pure murder. Power grid is in the green.
Commander?
Nothing else going on here. There's actually a glitch in the game, although I think it may have been fixed with the extended cut, although I'm not sure. That if Kaidan is your Vermeer survivor, any conversations that happen in engineering, like the one we just saw, were not triggered. This, of course, made a lot of people very unhappy once that was found out. Although there was a way you could modify your save files to basically make the game think that Ashley was alive, even if she's not, just so you could trigger those conversations. Wouldn't allow you to have both Ashley and Kaidan, though. Doesn't quite work that way. And I think it wasn't even enough for Ashley to be alive. You had to be friendly with her. But like I said, I think they fixed it in the extended cut.
It's just an opinion piece. You don't like it, don't download it.
You're saying we don't need Terra Nova.
Lose 1 colony, save 5. That's the math.
You know what the commander did for us? The colony?
Yes. I was on a little thing called the news.
You think you can fly on this ship, sit next to us at chow time, and then broadcast something like that? That's traitorous.
Hey, it's just an opinion piece. You don't like it, don't download it.
You're saying we don't need Terra Nova.
Well, I'm with
colony,
the crewman here.
5. That's the math.
That kind of thing,
You know what the
maybe it's
commander did
true,
for us?
but
The colony?
Yes. I was on a little thing called the news.
I don't think a news item like that would improve morale.
And then broadcast something like that?
Lose the piece or lose your spot on this ship, Allers.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Thanks, Commander. What's your choice, Allers? Like you said, it's just your opinion, right?
I'll pull it.
Well, you did say I would have veto rights, so don't complain.
Commander.
One more stop. Check in on Steve and James in the shuttle bay. Working on the shuttle again.
Sir Kesh certainly offered me a new experience.
What do you mean?
Normally I'm not one to fly co-pilot, but when an 800-pound Krogan requests to take control of your shuttle, you comply.
Probably wise.
Indeed.
Sir.
Wonder what the hell Cerberus was up to on Sir Kesh. I hear we're headed to Tuchanka. Would love to see how things turn out. I'm just saying. Rex is a badass. I bet he's got some real interesting stories to tell.
More interesting than Zaid, anyway.
More than something else. His mouth moves faster than a frog on a hot rock in the middle of summer.
That's a weird analogy.
Hey.
And while we're here, I would like to upgrade the Scorpion. Keep spending money. I'll never get the Paladin. Until I do, I'll probably use this gun. So let's at least make sure we have it at the top level. Makes quite a bit of difference. Let's check the description actually, since I'm using this weapon and we just got it. Originally issued to the Solarian S2G to allow small units to contain much larger enemy forces, the Scorpion pistol now sees service galaxy-wide. It fires low-velocity, squash-head projectiles with dual use. The high-explosive filler within the projectiles contains an adhesive that secures the projectile to the target on impact. When fired into a surface, it turns into a proximity mine, as I already said. And it's quite a useful pistol. But I don't think piercing is really a mod that does anything for the Scorpion. Because you cannot penetrate a Guardian shield regardless. But a high caliber barrel is more useful, I think. Scope is really not something I want for this particular pistol. So we'll stick with the capacity mod, the magazine upgrade, for the second one. Magazine upgrade doesn't really increases your overall capacity, except that your final magazine is also 50% larger, so you basically gain extra ammo by the size of 50% of one magazine, which in this case is 2 shots, so not really that big of a difference. But we have increased the capacity already just by upgrading it, so we'll have more shots now than we did on Sir Kesh with this. And it changes the color. Scope looks so ugly on some of those pistols. And anyway, I do like this pistol, but I won't be using it the entire game. One nice thing about it is that the first shot can stagger an enemy, and then when it explodes, it'll stagger them again. Unless, of course, you shoot at the floor or the walls using it as a proximity mine, then, since it doesn't hit them the first time, it won't stagger them. It's a versatile weapon, but you do need to know how to use it, which first time I played it I didn't, so then I couldn't really see the point of it, never use it. But I've learned since then. Okay, time to move on, and I think, first of all, I want to see what's going on with the Rachni.